Today is the 14th of May 2019. I'm in the studio, still working on the one from the last time, but now I'm going to do guitar. So, I'm going to show you how it's set up. So this microphone is going through input 8. I mentioned input 8 in the last video. 8 is not an input, that is used as the bass amp. I mentioned about input 8, but this is currently miking up the bass amp. What I'm wanting to do is mic up the guitar amp. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed. This is not going to go well. So, you have this amp. It's a Fender Super Champ. If it focuses. That microphone fell. That's not good representation. But the microphone will go onto this amp, and I'll be recording with this amp with headphones that are over there, behind the drum kit. There are headphones behind me. But yeah, I'm going to be miking up this amp and then playing it to get the sound through. But I need to sort this microphone out, so I don't want to break it any more than I've done, maybe. So, I've recorded the guitar part. Now I'm moving on to the piano. That's what you can hear in the background. One of my friends is doing that. They will likely say that on the track. They're not doing like a guide thing or anything. Yeah, so we're on to the piano now. I'll show you how the piano is set up. I sort of did it in the last one, but I'll do it again nonetheless, and I'll do it. I'll also show you how I set up the amp and the settings I use for that, if that helps. Yeah, don't know why I froze there. Okay, so after many takes, unfortunately, we got everything recorded. So, going it back into the more setup of how it is. I didn't film what I was doing earlier, that's fine. But set up how it is. So, the guitar amp that I mentioned earlier, the Super Champ Fender, is going through an 8 input. An 8th input into that mixing box down over there. I mentioned all of this on the other day. This is pointing specifically at the center. The center gives more of a brighter sound than if I say pointed it at the top. That's at the bottom. But if I pointed it at the top left corner, that's more bassy. That's how you can get different sounds with amps. Different sounds depending on what you want. And that is going through a Shure something. That's a Shure SM57. So, an industry standard, SM57s are pretty standard for a lot of amp work. I think I borrowed that exact one to record some other guitar parts for songs. Then we come over here to the piano. I mentioned this in the last one. So, this is an open top. So it's got some stuff in it. I can twiddle around and you can see the hammers. This specifically has got a pair of Rode NT5s. So as I mentioned in the other one, these are going through input 9 and 10 behind us over there. They're going through inputs 9 and 10, and they're going through the piano. The reason it's open is it gives a better sound, and they can go as a stereo pair, so you can put them all on one channel without there being any problems. Without there, being any problems with it. So you can open it up and it plays the sound through. That's just the lead sheet for the whole thing. Yes, you have the Rode NT5s going through. That is input 9 and input 10. You do it that way so you can have them as a stereo pair, because it starts with an odd number, then goes to an even number. So if I was using, let's go back to the example of the overheads here. If I was using that one, which is left overhead, and that one, which is right overhead, that would be 3 and 4 on the mixing console down there. Would be 3 and 4 because they're stereo pairs. That's how it works. I think I've clarified everything. On to mixing for this one now. Actually, that's a lie. I need to record vocals, so I might cut to that. So, I just recorded the bass. I'll play a clip now. The only reason I did it is because it specifies I need to use a DI input. So specifically, I did it for this for a DI input. Otherwise, I wouldn't have included bass. My hair is not cooperating today. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it because I don't necessarily think it works. I might chop and change bits that I don't think work. But I might just leave the bass in and mix it for the course. But then when I actually release a song, I don't think I will because I just don't think it works that well. But it's doing the standard input that it normally does. So it's going through line 1, it's going through this little DI box. It's the Yamaha something. I think it's the Yamaha Audiogram 3. I have a lot of Yamaha stuff. I have a Yamaha keyboard right here. It's an MX49. That's only 2 Yamaha stuff, so I guess it's not a lot of stuff. But I think that'll be it for it. I've gotten a lot of work. I got the guitar, the piano, and the bass recorded. I didn't film the guitar or piano being recorded. I filmed the bass, though. But, yeah. I hope I'm documenting this correctly. Hopefully, yay.